future-proofing your LSP with the three horizons strategy. Why balancing core, growth, and disruption is the key to survival. Welcome to Localization News You Can Use, your daily dose of localization know-how. Today, we're diving into a strategic playbook that every language service provider needs to have open on their desk. Metaphorically speaking, of course. It's all about staying ahead of the curve. And let's be honest, in our industry, that curve is starting to look more like a slingshot. We're talking about the Three Horizons framework, a rather nifty model that helps LSPs balance the bread and butter of today with the breakthroughs of tomorrow. Originally cooked up by the bright sparks at McKinsey in the Alchemy of Growth, and later adapted by giants like Google, it suggests a rather insightful 70-20-10 split for your efforts and investments. Right? So what's the deal with these numbers? Well, the idea is that a hefty 70% of your focus should remain firmly on your core business. For most LSPs, that's still very much traditional translation. It's the engine room, the part of the ship that's reliably getting you across the current seas. Don't let the siren song of AI will do it all make you prematurely scuttle this cash cow. Reports of translation's demise are, as they say, greatly exaggerated. It's still vital, and frankly, it's what pays the bills and funds the adventures we're about to discuss. Next up, we've got the 20%. This slice of the pie is all about diversification. Think exploring new service lines, tapping into different industry verticals, or wooing entirely new types of customers. It's about not being a one-trick pony, no matter how good that trick is. But a word of caution here. If you're going to offer, say, specialized marketing transcreation, you need to bring genuine expertise to the table. Simply relabeling your existing translation service with a fancier name isn't going to cut it. Clients are savvy. They'll see right through that. This is about building new strengths, not just new brochures. Then comes the really exciting bit, the final 10%. This is where you get to dream big, to pursue those audacious, future-gazing crazy projects. This is your transformation fund, dedicated to figuring out what your LSP looks like in a world that might be radically different. And let's face it, with the current pace of AI development, we need to be seriously considering business models for a future where AI might just make traditional translation as we know it a solved problem for many use cases. If you don't have a truly disruptive idea or project bubbling away in this 10% pot, you might not be seriously preparing for the industry's future. Perhaps it's time to think beyond per-word pricing altogether. It's a bold thought, but essential. Now, these percentages, 70, 20, 10, they're not set in stone. They're guidelines, and you should absolutely adapt them to your own LSP's specific situation, market conditions, and frankly, your appetite for risk. Some are already arguing that perhaps that 70% allocation to the core business needs a rethink, especially if the traditional value proposition, like billing per word, is starting to show cracks. The old way of scaling our value, primarily through the sheer volume of words, is undeniably diminishing in its power. This necessitates a fresh approach to defining and delivering value to our clients. Of course, this isn't a walk in the park. Shifting value propositions and scaling new models quickly is a massive hurdle. Transformation, that exciting 10%, demands different business models, entirely new ways to articulate the value you bring, and crucially, updated skill sets within your team. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, funding all this innovation. It's a major challenge, particularly for LSPs that don't have massive cash reserves to bankroll these future-facing endeavors. But what this framework does brilliantly is that it gives organizations structured permission to actually dedicate time and resources to planning for the future, away from the relentless demands of daily operations. It's a way to formalize innovation. While many of these principles might sound like common sense, it's amazing how easily they can be forgotten in the daily grind. Actively remembering and implementing them is vital. There's a palpable sense of apprehension across the industry at the moment, even as technological advancements, like the AI we've dreamt about for decades, are coming to fruition. It's a strange paradox, isn't it? All the more reason why having a structured innovation plan, a roadmap like the Three Horizons, is absolutely critical for navigating the changes ahead and ensuring your LSP doesn't just survive, but positively thrives. Thank you for listening to this episode of Localization News You Can Use, your daily dose of localization know-how.